feasibility study is expensive and it's,
Yeah.
it takes time. You started already,
We
right?
started already, and more, we just want to move forward with the entitlements today, so.
All right. And then the other question I have is the pool is in the front yard. Okay, so there's a 5-foot minimum height fence for a pool, but 42-inch maximum height for a front yard fence. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah, that's sort of been an ongoing conversation. The way that we're considering it now is that we looked a lot at the landscaping in the front yard. We have the permissible height front fence in the front with landscape that would grow taller behind that. But yes, we've been discussing if eventually we also need to permit a taller.
You have to get a variance.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I just had to bring it
Yeah,
up.
I know, yes.
All right. Thank you.
And I think, we'll obviously get that.
Lovely design, by the way. Oh, one more comment, since no one else is saying anything. Online, your context data looks great, because the house pictures are really big, you can see them. On the handout, you can't see them. So if you print that out for the board. The other thing is, I don't see a section view in here, and that's really helpful for analyzing the house. So if you can include that in your packet too, that'd be great.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, I know.
Jim?
A couple of things. I'm curious about the tree. It's shown at a particular size on the drawing. How many years is it going to take before it gets to be that size?
I would say that's a question for our landscaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest,
So,
I'm not quite sure.
If it's a really slow-growing tree, that may not look that way for 40 or 50 years.
I mean, I know, so we have 3 significant trees on the property that need to be replaced. So with the incoming tree in that location is one of the replacements for the significant size trees. So it will be, I know it'll be at least a 24-inch box tree.
So will you be able to replace the amount of shade that's on the property today within 5 years?
And the idea is to be,
I would like to hope so, but
Yes.
I think that we'd have to
Okay,
confirm
so
that
I
with
guess
landscape.
I need to better identify myself. I'm also on the board, so maybe you can have that answered, that question answered in whenever it gets to the board. I also have a question about the height. I noticed that you have a stairway that leads to the roof, but there's only a difference of 3 feet between the rooftop and the height of what is on the drawings is the height of the top of the building. The top of the building, I believe, is at 25, but the rooftop's at 23, and that doesn't give you a 42-inch.
No, there's an
Guardrail.
additional, yeah, there's an
How's that
additional
gonna
rail.
work?
There's an additional guardrail.
So it's additional above the existing height that's shown on the drawings?
It should be on the drawings.
Okay, can you point it out?
Yeah, sorry, it's shown. It's in here. It's not-
So where you're showing it, it's point to the line.
Yeah, this one.
So it's this line, but it's not called out.
It's not, yeah, it's not.
So it's above what's called out.
It's not even there. Where the guardrail
Can you explain that so we're all on the same?
Yeah, so it's looking at that.
Yeah, the line here, the height is the requires.
Not just the impact. It should be on the
And I guess
colored
see
elevation.
it here, appearing.
Just in very light gray. Are you able to see it?
No, not on this. But again, my eyes aren't great.
Jim is on the rendering market. Top left and going to top.
But it's not called out as a part of the height.
And these.
It's not part of the height though.
Yes, it is.
Not if it's a 75% open guardrail.
Correct.
It's not a parapet wall.
And it's the,
You have a solid wall to 25 and then you have an additional,
42.
no, whatever parapet wall you have,
Right,
it seems like they have 2 feet of parapet wall.
right.
So they add an additional 1.5 foot of 75% open guardrail.
The guardrail can exceed the specific plan height for a flat roof.
Okay,
Yeah.
you'll show me. No, not right now. I mean, I'll just see it in code. Great, thank you, that's all. I had to shut on my drawings.
What?
Yeah, when I got my rooftop railings. It's absolutely fine.
Hi, I'm Molly. I wanted to say one thing on the Mello, and I just think it's a crime that the city's putting you through this.
Yes.
And making you do a feasibility study, that should
Right,
not be
with
happening.
Street, yeah.
I can't believe that.
And they only seem to be getting more strict about it, so. This is the only.
On the wrong things.
I know.
The things that don't matter are gonna get worked out anyway on a single family building. I mean, if I was gonna ask any questions, it would be whether there was just one unit in the original existing home, and maybe an illegal unit, and that would be my question. But this is silly. Let's just make work for everybody and additional costs. And they might want to think about that, complaining to the city someday. It's a crime, it is. Confirm you don't have a roof access structure, the stairs look beside it, it's mostly.
Correct, it's actually just an open stair, which if you want, you can see the top of the model here. Yeah, and so we did open going down just to avoid having that additional roof access structure and keep it overall scale down.
And other than that, I just wanted to compliment both the owner and the architect for a beautiful project. I'm really impressed. And the rendering is excellent to show the before and after view. It's really helpful, and to see it in the context of the adjacent properties is very helpful. So, thank you.
So I'm, of course, the complete opposite. I'm glad that Hexit is looking at Mello, and if it's been used as a short-term rental, it should be evaluated as a RSO unit, because everybody's arguing that they, are operating these units legally. So I have no sympathy for the process of HCID, and I'm really shocked, Joe Clarke, that you're suggesting a workaround. I think it's like out of bounds and unethical, and I just don't understand why somebody would say, sit it out. Do you know how many buildings are sitting empty in Venice, sitting it out? And it's probably on suggestions like that. And we're losing units. And,
I have a question for you. You live on the block?
No, I don't.
All right, my question is there any evidence to believe that it's been used as a short-term rental?
The electrical bills.
It's not been used. I know for a fact it's not, because I
Okay,
live right
but
next door.
this is not a back and forth, as I've been told a million times at meetings. So let me say what I have to say, please, and then you can do what you want to do. If there are electrical bills, which is what happened with 811, 815 Oceanfront Walk, we showed $1,400 bills for a month of these consultants saying the property was empty and unused. It's just not logical. So I'm all for Mello or HCID getting stricter on Mello. This is 4 times the existing property. Your outdoor space is essentially in the middle. I think it looks like a concrete compound, and it often happens in this neighborhood that the interior space is the outdoor space, which really says we love the lifestyle of Venice, but we're not really social. And I would hope that somehow you get to understand that that's a big problem. It says to the indigenous community that we don't really want you as neighbors, but we really want this lifestyle and this location. So it's an ongoing issue. I want to know how many of similar size properties that you quoted in this area are multi-unit versus single-family dwelling. I'd like to know that specifically. And that's it.
I just want to quickly respond to Margaret, and just very briefly. There's a way to determine whether it's being used as one or not. The electrical and gas bills are really, really low. I think we can presume that it wasn't. And if that's the case, I think it's better than feasibility studies if we wait it out. Feasibility study is a workaround worse than waiting it out for a few months. That's all I want to say.
I don't think they want to reset the clock.
If not, then there's nothing.
To quickly respond to her comment, the buildings that I quoted, they're all single family. the 7 single-family dwellings of similar size.
In what area?
On the street.
On that one
Yeah.
block?
There's actually a map included in that package that labels each of them.
Thank you.
Great. So do you have any additional questions?
I have a, may I don't know how the procedure is tonight. Do you hand in speaker cards or can one simply?
So traditionally there's speaker cards, and since I'm new and it sounds like you're new here too, go for it for public comment.
Well, whatever the protocol is. Just a quick question, as far as the Mello is concerned, yeah, there is that 365 days of continuous vacancy before you submit a zoning administration plan. But are you planning to be the occupant? Yes. That's a whole other kettle of fish.
You answered the question. She
Well, she
didn't.
shook her head and I said, are you planning to be the occupant? And she shook her head. I'm acknowledging that she shook her head. So in the fact that you are saying that you're planning on being the occupant, that's a whole other thing. The only time that the affordability issue of replacement comes in is if you're not going to be occupying. So that's number one. Number two, if you do wait, if that's your choice, if you haven't done a ZA application yet, then you do have that option. If you have submitted, then the other option becomes do a feasibility study, which is about the replacement factor. If you haven't had a Mello determination and you say you have, where there's an affordable replacement, then you go into a DIR with the planning department, as you know, and depending on whether or not it's feasible, there'll be a determination there. So, I mean, there are many more options than simply, and I'm sure you didn't Ellis the property or anything like that, so, because that would have been a 5-year wait. But I mean, the fact that you intend to be a homeowner or something, as you say, then that might seem to be the remedy, because it's a whole other type of protocol